Hello, poet. Welcome back to Brave the Day, Make a Poem, where you gather. You're a gatherer of those little things that most of the rest of the world walks by, and you gather them. You're the one who, like me, might stack your books. Check this out. Very high class tea kettle box, and then because we're going to continue our theme of the mythic, we've got Clarissa Estes, got this book totem, stacking my very and we've got Pablo with us. Two little quotes we didn't get to in the last weeks, and we've got this hair. Like, I was about to, do that Virgo perfect. Okay, how do I look for filming? And I'm like, I look splendid. Like, I look like some mythic wild creature who is waking up. So, all this to say, shout out to the mythic of bedhead. Shout out to you as you are, imperfect. Shout out to you as a gatherer of all that you love and notice and delight in. So today, as I was pulling it together, I'm like, I just want to do like a casserole for you today because we're in the dregs of winter still. You guys in Wisconsin really got it. Wow. So much love. I woke up to snow today. Who knew? And we're going to continue this deep dive into how to stay abundant and buoyant with abundancy. And we're going to look a bit at Carl Jung and Pablo Neruda. And without further ado, because it is, okay, good, my computer's still fired up here. Isn't that fun? Isn't language fun? Like, okay, most of us don't have the ability to gather around fires and tell the stories, but we are here where we get to fire up our imaginations. We get to light it up and ignite with our words, our world. So Carl Jung, I'm just going to read this one first for no reason other than that my computer is going to soon ask me for the password if I don't do it. And I've only got one hand because my fingers are well, they're not dog flapping, Pablo, but they're kind of like stuck right now. So holding my two places because this is a very high-tech production. I come to you with so much love that oh my gosh, I'm just having so much fun, like looking at the different, it's kind of Bjorking. It's like a teeter-totter. So can you, like, describe in the comments if your hair is like a teeter-totter or something else? We want to know. So Carl Jung wrote, the state of imperfect transformation merrily hoped for and waited for does not seem to be one of torment only, but of positive, if hidden, happiness. I have to read that again. That's so good. The state of imperfect transformation merrily hoped for and waited for does not seem to be one of torment only, but of positive, if hidden, happiness. It is the state of someone who in his wanderings among the mazes of his psychic transformations comes upon a secret happiness which reconciles him to his apparent aloneness, to her apparent aloneness. In communing with herself, she finds not deadly boredom and melancholy, but an inner partner. More than that, a relationship that seems like the happiness of a secret love, or like a hidden springtime, when the green seed sprouts from the barren earth, holding out the promise of future harvests. Oh my gosh, I have read so much Carl Jung in my life, and I have never encountered that one, and it just, for me, this is why it's so important for you to go into your day and have the books by your bedside that you love and that you're in the middle of reading, but then you open yourself up, whether it's on Facebook or your meanderings, and you find something in this divine dialogue that's going on that speaks right to you. You know, is it the red-shouldered hawk that appears out the window that you're going slow enough to notice? Is it the way something tastes? It's like everything poet, and you know this is speaking to you, is here to love you and light you up. And I love how Carl Jung talks about this discovery inside of a hidden happiness, like a secret partner. Even Shanae had a song about her secret lover, and in an interview when, people were like, well, who is this? Is this Peter Gabriel? Is it? And she just said it was a spiritual thing. And so today, when it comes down to it, is really your soulmate and the world your beloved, and it is nothing less than that. And what you have within you is a universe. And if you have a universe within you, I love that little play, you also then are one who tunes into just how a day can whisper in your ear sweet nothings and all that is lovely amidst all that is destructive around us. And let's see what Pablo has to say about that way that you can find abundance in your life even when things are amok. Ooh, that's a fun word, amok. I don't think I've ever written anything with the word amok, so I'm jumping ahead of the game here, but for our quest today, let's toss in a word or two. I'll give you a two, because if you're like me, sometimes it's hard just to go with one. And let's make remember we used to do these word pools, these whirlpools of words, and we toss one in, and then at the end we have 6 incredible words that you were cajoled to use. And then when we shared what we wrote, they were all different. And it was astonishing because we'd use the same words. But we all bring this unique universe of who we are, of what we see, of what we taste and know and hear in a day in the life. And that is what makes being a poet just the best of the best. And you making time to listen to this live and come to our monthly Zooms if you make it. One is going to be coming up pretty quick here in March. So maybe the word you toss in the comments below is going to become, and then challenging yourself to use everyone's words might become something that you want to share with us. So private message me more if you're someone that has been kind of in the balcony section and not diving in. And if you feel moved to join a great group of people to feel inspiration and support, let me know, because there's this core group of like 4 of us, and I love you. And I just want to open the doors and remind everyone else listening that it's there for you. So Pablo, that was quite the meandering there. Pablo writes, and this is from his poem. It's the last line. It's from his poem. Did we look at it? Ode to Spring, which I believe is one of the first ones we looked at well over a month ago when we were all aching for spring. And the last sentence in this goes, "We'll work together in the perfect flowering abundance to come." One more time. We'll work together in the perfect flowering abundance to come. This is magic making at its best. It's the vision, rather than giving into toxic train dumps and all that could be pulling at you and concerning you. You come back to this truth. We'll work together in the perfect flowering abundance to come. And then you, in saying this, in seeing it, create it. Some days effortlessly. You become the kindness that is kindled. You become the writer that holds out hope like a torch in the night. We'll work together in the perfect flowering abundance to come. It is an honor to be here with you, working with words to do just that. And then the last quote in this mishmash is from one we haven't looked at by Pablo. It's called Ode to Enchanted Light. I'm only going to focus on one line from it. Maybe I'll do the whole thing down the road because we are stretching the next few weeks out, as some of you have ordered Ted Kuzer's Braided Creek, which is on the docket for right around the spring equinox, when I hear that enough of you got it in the mail. So some of you are waiting on the library. I encourage you to get this book because I love libraries, and I do that more and more rather than buying books, especially after having to move books 7 times in the last 2 years. Just was like, they felt more like a weight than a blessing. But I've kept some that weren't destroyed by the hurricane water, and one of them is Braided Creek by Ted Kuzer and Jim Harrison. It is one, if I only had a little bit of room in my nightstand, it would be there. And it's just because it's so easy to read, and it's deep, and it's joyful, and it's observations of everyday life, and it's a conversation between 2 poet friends. It inspires me to want to do that, you know, to write 3 to 6 lines just of what this day is made of, because I loved what Maud said in Harold and Maude. All of a sudden that came to me. When Harold asked her, so he's really young and she's older, and they're sharing adventures from going to funerals of people they don't know. If you've never seen this 1970s movie, Harold and Maude, it's a good one to make coconut oil popcorn and nestle in tonight and watch it as we wait for winter to leave. But he asks her about her life, and she shares about she came from Europe. She even has, as we discover one of her secrets, she has a number tattooed on her arm, which they never talk about, but she was in, World War II and in one of the Holocaust camps. So he's asking her about her rich life and her experiences, and she's like, oh yes, the revolutions of those days. I'd take to the streets, and I think she had her umbrella as her marching thing. But she then tells Harold, and I feel really unprepared to quote this because I can't even remember it, except I remember the energy of it. She said that now the revolutions are simpler than that. They're the daily joys. They're her waking up and deciding to be an inspiration for Glaucus and be a naked model next to a big piece of ice. Or to play a song and dance just out of the blue. So she teaches Harold, who is really sad deep down, and nothing has helped him, no therapy and not all the money in the world, and she is the muse for Harold, and I love that. And she teaches him the mishmash. Okay, that's my second word. So use amok and mishmash. So you each get 2 words to put in the comments that then the writing quest is use as many as you can, and feel that abundance when you're writing, because as Pablo says in this poem, the world is a glass overflowing with water. The world is a glass overflowing with water. So the question perhaps never has been, is the glass half full or half empty? But because you're a poet, it's overflowing. Thank you for drinking of this beautiful life with me, of taking the time to lift your glass and toast this day. I'll leave it at that, and I'll be back next week, probably Saturday, to share with you more mishmash. So much love, dear poet, so much.